Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are going to do a declutter recap. I figured I would film all of the palettes that I decluttered just because I had to film it in multiple parts. That way, if you didn't watch them and you want to just see what I got rid of, you can. And then also, if you lost track of how many, like I did, this helps me. There are 11 palettes that are in my drawers down here. I want to keep, but I don't necessarily use them. So, which I know sounds stupid, but they're not in the drawers. There's 11 palettes that are out, and there are two, the Laura Lee Nudie Patootie and this Too Faced holiday palette expired. The press glitter in that one went bad. So that's 13. And then I'll count the rest of these and I'll show you what I decluttered. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave me a comment. Definitely helps my channel out. If you're not new, I always appreciate you coming back, and let me count these and then we'll do the recap. 42 total. That is with the 11 in here, and that's with, so that's 31 minus the 2 that are being thrown away. So we're at 29. So I got rid of 29 that will go in with my like giveaway stuff, which isn't bad. So these are in no particular order. Let's do the small ones. I have 2 ZC palettes. I used one of these once and it was fine. I used this one. I just don't think I'll be reaching for it over my other stuff. And then this one's never been used. So one gently used, one brand new. This one is brand new. Laura Geller. This one's brand new. YC collection. This one is also brand new. Delancey. I think I swatched this shade, but I've never actually used it. Duochrome Quad. These 4 I'm going to take out because I want to keep this little Z palette. These are crown shades. I don't think I'm going to use these. I had high hopes. I don't think I'm going to use them. The 4 Seasons by Rasha B Cosmetics. Again, I liked the idea of this. I did swatch like this shade, but it's never... Did I swatch it? I don't think I did. Yeah, this palette's never been touched. I like that you've got the shimmers in the middle, but it's supposed to be a winter, fall, summer, and spring. So I like the idea of it. I just, with all of the stuff that I have, I don't think that I'm going to reach for this over something else. So this can go to a better home in the giveaway. Also, this is brand new. I was excited to try this, but I have a feeling that the formula is just going to be mediocre, just because of how I feel about a lot of the Medusa's makeup products. I do again like that you got the shimmers, and then the rest of this is pretty much all matte. These are sequence shades, which act as a matte shade, but somebody else who has less would probably appreciate that more. My kids are playing in their room. And again, my husband is upstairs, I swear. The Empowered palette by Huda Beauty. I only used this shade one time, so this is basically brand new. So I'm going to try and put this in the giveaway this time, because this, I'm sure somebody would be super excited to have that. This one, again, I think I've only used it once or twice, and I'm just never compelled to reach for it. The Rose Gold Remastered. So somebody, I think, would be excited to get those. I will sanitize them. Eyeshadow palettes are easy to sanitize. And then I'm going to get rid of this Moon Slice Beauty palette. I decided to keep the more autumnal like colored one and the blue one. This one I don't know that I'll reach for over other like purple things. I don't wear purple a ton. So this one, a brand new, can go to a better home. I had to scream at my children because it was getting chaotic up there. My husband is coming in. I can hear him. The Arcana palette, I've only used this like twice. It's a similar color story to the original Hocus Pocus palette. This one is just deeper, like it's more pigmented. I haven't really been compelled to reach for it since I did the comparison video a few years ago. I like the formula. The shimmers in here are very dark, and I don't love a dark shimmer on my lid, so I don't tend to reach for this. The Hocus Pocus palette, while it's not as pigmented, has lighter shade options in it, as well as some jewel toned shimmers. So I like the packaging of that one more. So I think I'm going to pass this one along. And then I think Shroud Cosmetics is no more. I decided to keep the two Batty Bean collabs, the original Freakin' Bats palette and then her Hallow Bean. But this one, while it's good quality, I don't find myself being compelled to reach for that in the fall. So I just will pass it along. This is the Moira. I was excited to try this brand. My friend Christine told me that this is not one of their better palettes. She was kind of disappointed that this is the one that ended up in the box. So this is brand new. I will, again, put this in a giveaway. If it's not in this one, it'll end up in another one. Somebody else can use it. And then this Meadows palette from Profusion. I have held on to this. I've never used it. I have the mauve palette. I've swatched this shade right here. I can see it. And it's a pretty like duochrome shade, but never used it. The palette's brand new. Somebody else can get some use out of it. I ended up talking myself into keeping two of the Wander Beauty palettes. I'm going to get rid of this taupey one. I think I used that once. And then this one, this purpley one is brand new. So I'm going to get rid of all three of my Game Beauty palettes. Again, this is their older formula. I can understand why they've changed. I just wasn't super impressed. And when that happens, I probably won't reach for these over something else just because I had a difficult time making the look work. I like the color story of this one just because it's very 80s-esque. So I'm tempted to keep this one, but I'm on the fence about it. The green one I've never used. This is brand new. So this one definitely needs to go in the giveaway so that this can go to a better home. I'm like talking myself into keeping this one just because it's like an 80s color story, but I have, again, this one, I only use the yellow shade. I have the Level Up palette from Lethal that I really like. It's upstairs. So I think I need to just pass these on to a better home. Somebody, again, with less could get some use out of these. They weren't pigmented enough for me. And nothing wrong with them. And I did use a primer. It just wasn't pigmented enough. When I want to wear color like that, I want it to be a little bit more impactful. So again, I think I'll just pass them on. This Surrender palette I've held on to because I've seen other influencers rave about. I just don't love this color story, and I've decided that Unearthly is just not my favorite brand. I like the other two palettes that I have, but I don't know that I'm going to go out of my way to purchase other stuff from them because I like Odin's Eye, I like better. I love Fantasy Cosmetica. Their palettes are really good. So I think, like, as far as indie goes, I'm more likely to purchase from those brands. Gourmand Girls. So I'm just going to finally let this one go. The So Fly from ColourPop. This came in a mystery box. I just don't think I need it. Again, it's brand new. It's never been used. Got two from not Wander Beauty, Ciate London. This one I've used once. It's very reminiscent of that Huda Beauty palette. I think that's why I kept it, but I've not used it since. And then I have this other one. This one's brand new. Never used it. Again, somebody with less eyeshadow would probably be quite excited to have that. I'm going to get rid of my Lorella Sweetheart palette just because I kept a couple of other things. I don't think I need this one. I did get rid of quite a few Lorella. I was getting their subscription box. It's been probably close to a year now. So I had quite a few palettes. So there's a few that I have decluttered from them just because I don't need all of them. Beauty Creations, the Tiana palette. Again, there's nothing, like, this looks fine. I just don't need it. It's pretty much like a rainbow palette. There are some pressed glitters, but as far as rainbow palettes go, I have ones already that I like. So this one's just not necessary in my collection. So somebody else, again, with less, I'm sure would appreciate that. And then I have this other one that I talked myself out of keeping just because I know I don't need it. It's a neutral pinky palette, very pretty. Brand new, never been touched. I'm going to get rid of the So Lucky just because I like the shades that are in the Clover palette better. This one, I find that I use that one more. So this one, as cute as it is, can go to a better home. And then this Nomad palette from Juvia's Place. This one is when I think their formula started to change. I've used this palette twice and it's just not as pigmented as some of their other palettes. So I'm going to pass this one on. I have two Juvia's Place palettes. I have a smaller one that my friend Christine gave me, and then she's a subscriber on here. That's the only reason I mention her. And then So Frequently, if you're wondering, the Tribe palette I've held on to. So that is everything that I decluttered. It doesn't look like a lot, but I'm going to take you over and show you the drawers, and I swear to you, they are better. So let's go over and do that. Okay, let me turn you around and I'll show you the drawer system that I'm using for my decluttered palettes for giveaways, and then I'll show you what my drawers look like. I need to clean it off, but these are all the ones that I had previously decluttered. And then this drawer, my husband used to have these in his semi truck for like socks and stuff, so I'm going to put all the ones that I just decluttered in this top drawer. Film going through these, that's a separate video just because I wanted to check. I had some melt palettes up there, wanted to make sure they weren't molded. But here's the small palette drawer. Like these two from Profusion could probably go later on. I've held on to them because they're reminiscent of the Naked Cherry, Naked Heat, and I got rid of those palettes, which sounds stupid. This is my more high-end drawer, Natasha Denona, Chanel, Pat McGrath, MAC. That's mainly what's in here. ABH, my two Sigma palettes, and then I have a couple of Tarte and my one Huda Beauty big palette. This is a mixture of like Be Bella palettes, the Jawbreaker palette. I don't have a good spot for this. Maybe I'll put this down here with my big one. Oh, I do have drawers that have space, so like this one again is a mixture. There's the two from Shroud that I'm going to keep. The Lethal palettes are in here. Lime Crime. These are like collab palettes with subscription boxes. Let's see, this is all ColourPop. So ColourPop has its own drawer. The only thing that's not in here are the quads, but I moved the 5 pans in here, and then all of this is just ColourPop, so that helps. Because the issue I was having before was I couldn't find things for videos. Again, this is a mixture of things from boxes, and then like Give Me Glow is in here, Black Moon. This drawer's Urban Decay, other than the Naked Honey, another Tarte palette, Blend Bunny. This Blend Bunny, I think, because my other one will not fit in here. I'm trying to keep those together. I may put those down here just so they're together, but there's those. This is mostly Too Faced, the one Urban Decay palette, and then Lunar Beauty is in this drawer. This is mostly Lorella and then BH Cosmetics, just because I have a fair amount from them. Oh. And then up here, this is probably the most full drawer. There's Melt, Nomad, DD Signature is in here. A couple of Laura Geller palettes are in here. This is mostly Ace Beauté, the giant Too Faced palette that I still have. My one Juvia's Place palette, the couple of, what is it, Beauty Bay, but it's mostly Ace Beauté, and my one Profusion palette. My one large Profusion palette, the Ninja Turtle one, is in here. This is all Glam Light. So all Glam Light palettes, but you can see there's room in these. Like they're not packed. This drawer is probably one of the fullest of the big ones. Again, we got Odin's Eye, Kaleidos, and Gourmand Girls are all in this drawer. And then a couple of big ABH palettes. I'm going to put Blend Bunny just because this palette, when this comes down off of here, they can be together. My 2 flat Jeffree Star large palette, Straw Breaker and Cremation, and then the Mini Breaker, and then my 2 Morphe palettes that I still have. Those do probably still seem full. It is a million times better than what it was. And again, I usually do keep some out on display. So the way the drawers look is probably how they'll always look, because I rotate what I have out seasonally. And then I also keep a small basket in my bathroom for daily use. So there will always be a few things up there. I will probably never, other than when we are moving, have this like these drawers completely packed full, just because, like I said, I do keep some stuff out here. There is some stuff upstairs. So I rotate things. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. Bye, everybody.